Hey, how's it going, everybody? There's so many exciting, crazy things happening in the world of Tesla. Not to mention, we're getting close to the holiday season and the end of the year push that Tesla typically has. So today we're going to be talking about a Cyberquad that's actually made for kids, some Cybertruck updates and design changes a little bit that makes it a little bit more radical. So unfortunately, if you didn't like it before, you probably still won't like it. Some changes to the Model Y and the Model 3 coming for 22, and then kind of where Tesla is or where they fit in anyway with the EV tax credit, because we can't talk about a video about Tesla without talking about this EV tax credit that keeps looming. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So I'm going to start right into something that seemed kind of fun. When they unveiled the Cybertruck a couple of years ago, they actually showed a Cyberquad. Now that was part of Elon's vision of sexy cars. It was going to be the ATV version of it. It's going to be an all-electric ATV. And it actually seemed neat as they wheeled it up on top of the back of the Cybertruck. Unfortunately, it seems like it's actually going to be coming out for kids. Goes to a maximum of 10 miles per hour, gives you about 2 hours on a charge, and it does seem like a super fun vehicle to have, though I'm not sure as though I'm going to run out and get one quite yet. But in the future, it actually adds or keeps the door open for a Cyberquad that would be made for adult people too. So either way, it's something that's coming on the horizon. And in fact, it's something that Elon's kind of holding to. He talked about it years ago, and he's actually producing it, even if it's for younger folks. So that leads me into the Cybertruck. Now, people either love or hate the Cybertruck. It's definitely a radical design, and if you haven't seen the videos from before, definitely check them out. Elon set out to create a vehicle that wasn't like any other truck that had ever been created, and he certainly succeeded. You know, with a swoopy design, rolled steel, you know, heavy angles. It's actually supposed to pull over 10,000 pounds. It's going to get over 400 miles of range once it's all done. He talked about a quad motor or even a tri-motor at the time, and now recently a quad motor design that's going to give independent motors for each wheel on the car. So there's a lot of great things about the vehicle. However, some people just can't get past the design. I'm in the boat or in the camp of I can't get past the design. I wish it was more truck looking as other vehicles, and if it were, then I would buy one today. Unfortunately, it's not, and it's this really radical design that is actually kind of steering me away from it. Let me know what you guys think. Love it or hate it, throw it down in the comments below, but either way, it's coming. It's coming probably, he says in 22. If I were to put all my Dogecoin on there, I would say it's gonna be 23. But either way, it's probably gonna come out of Giga Austin, and it's gonna be this radical design that most likely won't fit in my garage. So either way, it's coming, and it's coming down the road. Now, a couple of things that they did promote and show and launch recently on this is the quad motor design, independent motor for each tire. It's also going to have the ability to crab walk. Now, we saw that with the Rivian. We saw that with the Hummer H1 that they came out with, their EV Hummer that's potentially coming out eventually some point. It's actually going to have the ability to independently steer all four wheels to move it in a sideways direction. That's what they're calling the crab walk. I mean, I think it could be practical if you're moving into a space. It is a big vehicle nonetheless. It's more of an off-road thing than anything, I would say. So maybe they'll have some rear-mounted cameras, some skid plates, stuff like that. Who knows, that might be coming down the road as well. But they've also showcased this extremely radical windshield wiper design. It's a single windshield wiper blade. And in fact, if you see the picture of it, it's actually on the driver's side, and it spans the entire width or the entire height of this ridiculously large front window. Now, the Cybertruck is a larger vehicle anyway, comparable to, say, a little bit smaller than a Hummer H1. If you've ever been in one of those, you can almost fit 4 people wide in the car. But nonetheless, it's got a really swooping, long, angled front windshield. And that front windshield needed to have a way to wipe it. And so what they determined, or what they came up with, was actually a single blade design that'll start on the left-hand side and wipe the whole thing clean. Now, we ran into issues before, and you guys have seen in other videos, they show the old Tesla Roadster actually had a windshield wiper that stayed on the right side where the passenger, and it actually impeded the passenger's view a little bit. It kind of cumbersome, and it looked sort of odd. So this is their solution for it. I guess it's maybe an initial prototype solution since the vehicle isn't actually in production yet anyway. So who knows, that might change down the road. Speaking of changes, the Model 3 and the Model Y, they came up with this whole list of changes. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these changes are similar to when you see the new iPhone coming out year after year after year, where they just talk about a faster chip and a slightly better camera, maybe a little bit more of an angled design on it. Now, of the list of things, there's about 20 on there, and this came in from people kind of hacking the code a little bit to see what was coming with the vehicles, and then some of the things that Tesla's talked about. The majority of them are talking about the computer, a faster chip in the computer in the car that's actually going to allow you to transfer from one thing to the next. People talked about loading games before. People talked about loading map screens and how there's a slight delay in it. It also may kind of segue into getting 5G capability. There's also a portion they're talking about a 5G, sort of hotspot kind of thing. The car currently has Wi-Fi hotspot anyway. It can, connect through Wi-Fi to upgrade the system, to give you updates, that sort of stuff, mapping real-time traffic. Apparently it's going to get 5G, which is nice. It'll be nice to have, especially to keep up with everything else. But the biggest part about it, and I think it's kind of odd, and they've actually open this up with certain games that are in the vehicle that you can actually play while you're driving. It's almost like Elon's putting all of his eggs in the basket, saying that full self-driving is not only coming, but it's going to be as amazing as we think it's going to be. So why not add games while you're driving? Now, currently it's only available for the passenger in the car and only available in certain games. However, it's easy to kind of outsmart the vehicle so that you could play it while driving, I guess. Obviously not safe or anything like that, but you could technically do it. So I think NHTSA and some of the safety administrations are getting on board, throwing in their 2 cents in that sort of situation to say that, hey, yeah, maybe you have the ability to do it, but we're not going to let you. So there's a couple of things coming on the horizon there, outside of just updated, refreshed Model Y, Model 3, Cyberquad for kids, and Cybertruck. We've got to talk about this EV update, this EV tax update. They've been talking about it for an entire year, probably even longer, really probably the past 2 years. It's been saying next session, next session, next session. And now here we are, we're a week out of the year and there's still nothing. It passed the House, hasn't passed the Senate yet. It seems like it's going to be over $8,000 for somebody buying a Tesla in 2022. However, we're not sure if it's actually going to come. We're not sure when it's going to come. It could get shot down in the Senate and not even make it out. It could be one of those dream things that never actually happens. There's so much built into that bill outside of just the EV tax credit that there's a lot of stuff for them to kind of chop up. It seems like a lot of other EV manufacturers are going to get the advantage from this as well outside of just Tesla. You just have to be, a higher than 50 kilowatt hour battery, which is the majority of them now. It has to be made in the United States, which a lot of them are sort of. And then it has to be a certain type of car. So, Tesla is all in on that, everything except for the Union factory. So who knows where that's going to go. We should know more in the next week or so, and then likely coming into 2022. So more on the horizon there, and it's exciting for the entire industry, even the non-Teslas that are coming into the mix. But either way, radical stuff with the Cybertruck, radical stuff with the Cyberquad, and then who knows, will any of these changes make you kind of pull the trigger on the Y or the 3? Throw it down in the comments below. But I really hope you guys are having the opportunity to enjoy the holidays, however you celebrate them. I hope that you guys are putting a smile on your face and you're having a great week, day, month so far, and that you're staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.